crazy to say it, but despite their 2-7 record, the Panthers are only 2 games back from first in the NFC South. Those 2 wins coming against divisional opponents. Falcons tied with the Bucks for the division lead. Both of them sit at 4-5 on the year. Vegas still considering Tampa the favorites, though, to win the division crown. They're sitting at -230. We bring in my guy Ryan Harris to get us ready for some Thursday night football. Ryan, first I'm going to go ahead and get out in front of it, say I'm excited to see my Panthers get to have a game in prime time tonight. I spent the last 4 years in Charlotte. It's hard to determine exactly who this Falcons team is, though. You go as your QB does a lot of the time, and Marcus Mariota's been up and down. Completed less than 15 passes in 6 of 9 games. But in that win against the Panthers, he threw for 253 yards and 3 touchdowns. Are the Falcons actually contenders to win the division?
Absolutely they are. Marcus Mariota has been efficient, completion percentage over 60%, but also you're missing the key pieces around him. They've got weapons at every position. They're currently 3rd in the NFL in rushing, with 3 separate running backs having over 300 yards each. Of course, you got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and the thing I like too, Zach, is that Marcus Mariota talked about how he's been a little too conservative, not taking many risks, and says he wants to change that. So look out, fantasy football owners. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, that could be a big pickup. But also you've got a defense with the Atlanta Falcons that's tied for 4th in the NFL in interceptions. So all around, this is a team that's building, and this is what it looks like often. The record's a little mumbled. You don't know if you can believe or not, and then they'll go off and rip off a couple of wins. I mean, if you look at their schedule coming up, they got the Panthers, then the Bears, Commanders, and Steelers, then the bye. I mean, that could be a 4-game win streak heading into that bye right there. So the Falcons are real. They are dangerous in that NFC South, and it's going to be fun to watch what they do tonight.
Earlier in the season, a lot of Falcons fans were wanting to see Desmond Ridder. It seems like we probably won't be getting that anytime soon. For Carolina, though, it's been a carousel of QBs. P.J. Walker, he'll start tonight, this after being benched last week for Baker Mayfield against the Bengals. Sam Darnold also healthy, so you got 3 QBs in the mix there. Who should interim head coach Steve Wilks be starting?
Well, I like that Steve Wilks is starting P.J. Walker. He had a rough outing, don't get me wrong. Completed only 3 of 10 passes, 2 bad interceptions, but he has enough juice that makes you think he could be something. And every quarterback has that game. I mean, he had a quarterback completion percentage of over 70% twice this year. So there's times where he's really grasping the offense, but the last 2 games he has really regressed. What I think they're doing, Zach, here is trying to figure out who's going to be our veteran that we hang on to, that we can trust to win a couple games to start next season, as they're looking at another top 10 pick next year. Probably top 3 pick if they lose this game and continue to lose. So I like what Wilks is doing, giving a young player in P.J. Walker the opportunity to respond to the mistakes that he made. And if you're P.J. Walker, you want to have your best game. And hopefully by now he's learned through all of his pro experience. You can't force that issue. You just have to make quick decisions, do not hesitate, and believe you're going to win the game.
Walker went 3 of 10 for just 9 yards and 2 interceptions last weekend, but he did play really well against the Falcons, which is one reason why Wilks decided to go with Walker to start. Falcons favored by 2.5. What's your pick?
I got the Falcons 21-17, Zach. I'll tell you what, I like what they're building. I think the run game's going to come in huge, especially because these Panthers gave up over 200 yards rushing in their last game. That's going to play in big for Atlanta. I would also like to see P.J. Walker use his athleticism as well. I'd love for them to call some designed RPOs, some QB runs. But I got Atlanta here, Zach. I think they're building and they're on the rise.
Ryan Harris thinking the Dirty Birds are going to take it to Carolina tonight out in Charlotte. 8:15 kickoff. You got your dance moves. I see you. You can hit it whenever you want to. Thank you very much, Ryan. Panthers, they've allowed 39.5 points per game during their current 2-game losing streak. The Falcons were 4-point home favorites when they beat Carolina by only 3 2 weeks ago. One thing to monitor tonight should certainly be the rush game. Falcons won the best in the league, top 5 in rush yards per game and rushing TDs, but Carolina had a tough time stopping it. Bottom 5 in the league in yards per game allowed and TDs allowed tonight, Thursday night. Falcons and Panthers.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.